when you talk about like the expectation and the fact that you were head girl, do you feel like generally there's a pressure to go to university whether you might like it or not? And do you almost sympathise with people who go to university and end up hating it and probably in their eyes wasting that time that they've done?
I really do. I think, you know, with a lot of schools, I think the only sort of schools that don't really push people to go towards academics in university are those that are like solely creative schools. Like the Brit School, for example, I know that they don't like push you to go straight into uni because there are other ways around like creative jobs, I think. But I really do sympathise with those who get stuck in uni and like sort of get forced to go, because first of all, you're spending $9,000 a year on this. Second
it's
of all,
a lot of money.
It's a lot of like stress, being like going to your parents, for example, and being like, I'm not enjoying this, I want to drop out. That's a lot of mental stress. And yeah, like I think it's very hard to explain what uni entails. Like a lot of my friends are very academic, but there are some that are really absolutely hating it because you just don't know what's going to happen until you get there. So yeah, completely sympathise with those who didn't actually want to go to uni but felt pressured to by school.
Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, I've talked to people who, as you say, are very academic and going to university is like their plan and that's what they want to do. But then people who are on the more practical side, who like the creative stuff, and I think it's really inspiring that you finally figured out the gig photography stuff, because you can see it in people when they find something really that they're really passionate about. And it's almost like that light bulb moment. Mm-hmm. And I almost wonder, not a lot of people also get into the YouTube side of things while studying. Was a YouTube a part of that, like trying to dip into things, trying to find what you were passionate about and seeing whether it turned into something that then you would end up love?
I think so, you know. I was 14 and I really enjoyed watching YouTube, and I remember being in this history class and two of my friends were like, you know what, you'd be a sick YouTuber, and that's how I made my YouTube channel. And I just think everything along the way, like I really enjoyed doing, like making the channel art and like making an end card and all the graphics sort of side
Don't
of it.
we all?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do think like subconsciously that was the first thing that I sort of did to try out being creative and seeing if I could actually keep this up. Yeah, I didn't really think about it, I just enjoyed it so much.
Yeah, it's a cool compliment that someone was like, oh yeah, you look like you'd be a good YouTuber. Like straight
I know,
off the bat.
it's because I used to joke and be like an American YouTuber at school, you know, taking the piss out of these YouTubers, and then two of my friends are actually like, I actually think you'd be quite sick at it, so give it a try, and I did.
What was the original purpose of the channel? Like, I gather, because I've done a bit of research on it, and it looks like one of those classic channels where you do like fashion hauls. I'm guessing you did that once upon a time.
Yeah.
And you do like, you're smiling like, yeah, I did that once. I've never actually watched one. I think I understand the general gist of what they're meant to be, but don't think it's aimed at people like me. And you do the study videos and stuff. Was that the eventual aim of what the channel was supposed to be about, like helping people through exams? You were sort of part of that niche of people that you met at that time, like Molly and Eve. I didn't actually ask whether you knew them before you started YouTube or whether you met them because of YouTube.
Met them because of YouTube, and that's just so sick. Like that's always going to be, if someone asks me like what is the main pro of having a YouTube channel or like being part of YouTube, is the friends that you make, because I have a whole friendship group just from making a channel online, which is sick. And I know that they're going to be friends for life, and they're going to be, I don't think I'll get married, but one of them will, and I'll be at their wedding.
Oh, you're being very down on yourself.
No, I just don't think I want to get married anymore. That's just what I've been thinking recently, but who knows? Never say never.
We could get into like a whole branching off conversation about.
I know.
Like,
I'm so sorry. I'm so bad
about
at this.
Marriage and. It's a different podcast entirely. You know what? I don't know.
Well, then you're in the same boat as me.
Yeah, that's a tricky one. That is a tricky question. I'm not sure if people going to university can relate to that.
No. Next question. Let's go.
Oh dear me. But yeah, why did you make the channel in the first place?
I just enjoyed it really. Again, it was just a sort of subconscious creative journey, and I never knew it was going to become like a study or lifestyle channel. I just enjoyed watching beauty and fashion videos, and that's how I started off. I feel like not every girl anymore, but like back in 2014, obviously Zoella was the most popular beauty and fashion vlogger, and you just sort of be like, oh, if I want to be successful on YouTube, I've got to do the same as her. So I feel like every girl YouTuber sort of started off in the same boat. And I just think I went into like helping students, if you will, when I was going through the studying, going through GCSEs, going through A-levels, because that is what was going on in my life. And I just feel like when people can relate to you, that's when your content's the best. So yeah, it just happened. All the night.